Hi guys. I just want to talk and share maybe a little bit. Maybe it helps somebody out there who's also struggling, because I believe we're all struggling in one form or another. Because really and honestly, if you still can think straight, you really got to give yourself a huge amount of credit. I've been umming and ahhing about how I feel, and really had to go into myself, being all on my own, having had to deal with so much loss as well, and having literally nobody to talk about all these things, and then this constant need to forever keep up with the news and all the developments, and it's absolutely sheer exhaustion, isn't it, to try and keep up with all of this. This is all, of course, by design. And we have in German, what they're doing is so. I've got this lovely word in German, and I can't. There's no English word, but the German word is hinterfotzig, and I think you can sort of glean from how it sounds the meaning of it. It's so it's playing with covered cards and not being open about the fact that you've just declared war on people. This is hinterfotzig. It's cowardice. Having studied the human brain and all our emotions, all our reactions, all our habits in detail for all these decades, and now using every register available against us, because that's what's going on. I was listening to this guy here. He's a molecular genetic person who's studied, the human brain, and wrote a book about it. The neuropathological attack on the human brain. And only 36 minutes in. Even your capacity to listen to so much stuff and to take in so much information over all these years, and to be able, to sit there and concentrate maybe for hours on one podcast after another to gather information, is a huge achievement, far more than a lot of people are actually capable of. So congratulate yourself. And that's why you're probably here, because you have that capacity for this enormous input to happen, and you have a natural inborn resistance to all this stuff. So your presence is important. Every single one of us is important in this. That's what I've realized. And I had horrendous migraines last week. I had 4 migraines last week, and at one point I started getting really scared. I mean, I completely lost my vision every time I had a migraine. And being on your own, you just got a bit scared. And then I sat down, and sometimes I can't, it's almost like I'm hovering next to myself, and I look at all this, and sometimes I gotta laugh because it's all so ridiculous. On one level, it is all so ridiculous, even though it's deadly serious. But at times I just gotta laugh. But I had this thought, only yesterday, I think. There's only one way out of here, and that's to die, right? And I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but we all will have to die. And then I might as well go for it, right? I mean, because it's the manner of how I spend the last bit of time before I die. So what am I really frightened of if I know I've got to die at some point? There's just this is the Urangst, the original fear. That's our battle. I was also listening to this channel here. She's I think she's a psychologist, and she's talking about people breaking down left, right, and center, just exhaustion. And you got to really, it's not just this crazy world, the situation we find ourselves in, but it's also, the earth and what's going on there with the electromagnetics and stuff. I think that's why I had my migraines. The electromagnetics of the earth are just going haywire, and we're feeling it. And we're feeling each other as well. We're feeling this angst, this pain, this complete and utter craziness. All the angst, the gaslighting, the nastiness, the pressure. And then you're walking this tightrope as well between the metaphysical side of things and, the what's going on, in the politics, and what's going on, with interpersonal relationships. The whole kit and caboodle is being thrown at mankind all at once from every angle possible. This is unprecedented, and it's the evilness is that it's this declared, undeclared war, you see. The one that you only see, the one that you might have sensed all your life, but until you found out, didn't really know about. And all these other people who are stuck in this narcissistic relationship with their governments. Because it's this abuse, narcissistic, psychopathic trauma bonding that these people are experiencing. And they can't extricate themselves from that. I still haven't come across anybody explaining to me, so it makes sense why it is that some of us, either woke up earlier or never even fell for certain things. I don't know whether that's due to childhood trauma already, having experienced that. I have not come across a rational explanation for that. So, and all of this is really important. I have realized I haven't looked after my body properly because I've just been slumped over, but with all the things that I have to do as well in my private life, I'm just giving away my last horse to a very lovely lady who is absolutely over the moon, and I'm hoping that they both will be very, very happy. But it's slicing just a bit out of my own heart, after 27 years of having them. I got myself some minerals and vitamins. I was depleted of zinc. You can check your fingernails as well. I looked this up online, and I have these longitudinal lines on my fingernails, like little wavy lines, and that's a lack of zinc. So I realized that I needed a zinc supplement. I found these mudras here, and not just mudras, but also what do you call it? Reflexology. I found this video quite helpful. I've been doing that and stimulating the nadis using this. And I made a little playlist also with Qigong exercises that I've now started doing because, I realize I've got to find a way of centering myself, keeping my emotions in check, and just generally, trying to keep my head above water and not lose the plot here completely, because I've been in a very, very deep, dark space for the last 2 years, and I don't know how you are or where you're at, but do look after yourself. Make sure you have the right vitamins inside. Try these things. This seems to be doing something for me, at least. So yeah, take care of yourselves. I went to the health shop, and I met the same lady I met at the beginning of 2020 when all this craziness started. She was behind the till, and I came up to the till and I said, "Hey, we hooked each other in 2020 when this madness started." And she looked at me. She said, "Oh yeah, I remember you." She said, "How are you?" And I just told her the story of what had happened to me in the last 2 years. And in the end, she looked at me, and I was leaving. We had a 15-minute chat, and she said, "Oh, come on, give a hug," you know? And we hugged each other again, and it was just so nice, you know? Just try and do nice things. It makes you feel good, makes you feel better in all this crap around us. There is still human beings out there, you know?